Understanding the nuances of human attraction often requires looking past spoken words and focusing on the silent, sophisticated language of the body. While verbal communication is subject to conscious filtering and social politeness, subconscious body language remains a raw, unfiltered reflection of our true internal state. For men, attraction often triggers an involuntary, physiological response, a cocktail of adrenaline, dopamine, and ancient evolutionary instincts that manifests in specific physical tells. These micro-gestures and postural shifts are controlled by the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for emotions and survival, making them nearly impossible to fake or fully suppress. When a man is genuinely captivated by your presence, his body begins to communicate through a series of green light signals designed to establish rapport, demonstrate protection, and signal availability, from the subtle eyebrow flash that lasts only a fraction of a second to the deliberate orientation of his feet toward you. These cues form a roadmap of his romantic intent. Recognizing these patterns allows you to see the reality of his feelings before he even gathers the courage to speak them aloud. This guide dives deep into 15 specific subconscious markers that confirm a man is not just being friendly, but is deeply attracted to you. By observing how he manages his personal space, mimics your energy, and focuses his gaze, you can gain a profound advantage in the dating dance. Whether you are in a crowded room or a quiet one-on-one setting, these biological signatures act as a bridge between his hidden thoughts and his outward actions. Understanding this silent dialogue is the key to unlocking the truth about his feelings and moving your relationship forward with confidence and clarity. 1. The eyebrow raise, the flash. The eyebrow flash is one of the most reliable, cross-cultural indicators of interest. This split-second upward movement occurs within a fraction of a second when a man sees someone he finds appealing. Subconsciously, the brain signals the eyes to open wider to take in more of the visual stimulus, causing the brows to lift momentarily. It is an involuntary reaction that signals a yes to what he is seeing. Unlike a forced or social greeting, the genuine flash is almost impossible to fake because it happens before the conscious mind can filter it. In a dating context, this micro-expression serves as a silent invitation for engagement. When you notice this subtle lift, it suggests that his internal system has recognized you as a positive presence, effectively lighting up his face with an unspoken sense of curiosity and immediate attraction. 2. Dilated pupils. The eyes are often called the windows to the soul, and physiologically, they are incredibly honest. When a man is looking at someone he finds attractive or feels a strong emotional connection with, his nervous system triggers a pupillary response. Dilated pupils occur because the brain wants to capture as much detail as possible of the pleasing image in front of it. This reaction is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system, meaning it happens entirely without his permission or awareness. Even in a brightly lit room, his pupils may appear noticeably larger if the attraction is intense. This physiological zoom effect indicates a state of high arousal and focus. It is a biological signature of desire that creates a softer, more inviting gaze, often making his eyes appear darker and deeper, which subconsciously signals to you that he is fully captivated. 3. Directional foot pointing. One of the most overlooked aspects of body language is the orientation of the feet. While people are often trained to control their facial expressions or hand gestures, the feet are usually the most honest part of the body because we rarely think about them. If a man is interested in you, his feet will often point directly toward you, even if his upper body is turned away to talk to someone else. This is a subconscious leading gesture that reveals where he truly wants to go or where his primary focus lies. If his feet are pointed toward the exit or away from the conversation, his mind is likely elsewhere. However, when his toes are consistently angled in your direction, it acts as a physical compass of his attraction, suggesting that he is mentally and physically anchored in your presence. 4. The fronting alignment. Fronting is a powerful display of vulnerability and undivided attention. It occurs when a man squares his entire body, shoulders, chest, and hips directly toward you. This alignment removes any physical barriers between you and signals that you are his absolute priority in that moment. By exposing his ventral side, the front of the body, he is subconsciously showing that he feels comfortable and safe with you. Even in a crowded or busy environment, a man who wants you will often ignore other distractions to maintain this direct physical orientation. This posture is the opposite of angled or bladed body language, which is often used to signal a desire to leave or a lack of engagement. When he consistently fronts toward you, it is a non-verbal commitment to the interaction, proving that his focus is entirely locked onto you. 5. Mirroring your movements. Mirroring is a subconscious behavior where a man begins to mimic your physical actions, such as taking a sip of a drink at the same time you do, crossing his legs when you cross yours, or adopting a similar leaning posture. This behavioral synchrony is a sign of deep rapport and biological clicking. It happens because the mirror neurons in the brain are firing in response to your presence, attempting to build a bridge of familiarity and comfort. By reflecting your body language, he's essentially saying, I am like you, and I feel what you feel. It is a powerful way to establish a subconscious bond and reduce tension. Mirroring indicates that he is highly attuned to your frequency and is trying to harmonize with your energy, which is a hallmark of strong romantic attraction and emotional alignment. 6. Subconscious preening and grooming. When a man is attracted to you, he will instinctively want to look his best, leading to subtle preening behaviors. This might involve smoothing his hair, adjusting his collar, or straightening his shirt the moment you enter the room or during your conversation. These actions are driven by a primitive, biological urge to appear as a high-quality mate. By fixing his appearance, he is subconsciously preparing himself to be judged by you, showing that your opinion of his physical presence matters deeply. Even small movements, like brushing a piece of lint off his sleeve or checking his reflection in a window, are indicators that he is self-conscious in your presence. It signals that he is no longer in a relaxed state but has transitioned into a focused courtship mode where his image is a priority. Marsvana, the head tilt. A head tilt is a classic sign of active listening and genuine engagement. When a man tilts his head while you are speaking, he is exposing his neck, one of the most vulnerable parts of the human anatomy. This gesture signals that he feels comfortable and safe in your presence, and more importantly, that he is fully focused on your words. By tilting his head, he is also subconsciously trying to lean his ear closer to you to catch every detail of the conversation. It shows a level of curiosity and empathy that goes beyond casual politeness. In the world of nonverbal communication, this movement breaks down formal barriers and creates an atmosphere of intimacy, suggesting that he is not just hearing you, but is deeply interested in the emotional subtext of what you are saying. 8. Parted lips. Similar to the eyebrow flash, parted lips are a momentary, involuntary reaction that occurs when a man sees someone he finds highly attractive. This mouth-opening gesture often happens at the same time his pupils dilate. Physiologically, it is a sign of a gasp of recognition or surprise. In a longer interaction, keeping the lips slightly parted rather than tightly pursed suggests a state of openness and receptivity. It makes his expression appear more inviting and less guarded. This specific micro-expression is often associated with the brain's reward center being activated. When his mouth is slightly open, it softens his facial features and signals that he is drawn into the moment. It is a subtle but potent physical cue that his subconscious is reacting to your beauty and charm in a very visceral, unfiltered way. In the trifocal eye pattern, when a man is just being friendly, his eyes usually stay in a horizontal line between your eyes. However, when attraction is involved, he adopts a trifocal or triangular gaze. His eyes will move from one eye to the other, and then down to your mouth before returning to your eyes. This triangular pattern is a clear indicator of romantic interest because it involves looking at the most intimate parts of the face. By glancing at your lips, he is subconsciously thinking about kissing you or is simply mesmerized by your expressions as you speak. This gaze is more intense than standard eye contact and creates a scanning effect that shows he is taking in your entire face with admiration. It is a powerful signal that his interest has moved from a platonic level to a more passionate one. 10. Frequent blinking. While staring can be a sign of intense focus, an increased blink rate can actually be a sign of high emotional arousal and excitement. When a man finds you captivating, his brain is processing a significant amount of sensory information, which can cause his blink rate to speed up. This physiological response is often linked to the release of dopamine and adrenaline that occurs during a romantic attraction. If he is blinking more than usual while looking at you, it indicates that he is feeling a rush in your presence. This rapid blinking, combined with a smile or leaned-in posture, shows that he is stimulated and slightly nervous, common side effect of being around someone you truly want. It is an honest, jittery physical manifestation of the internal butterflies he is likely feeling while trying to keep his cool. 11. Proximity seeking, leaning in. Proximity seeking is a fundamental indicator of attraction that manifests as a physical pull toward you. When a man is interested, he will subconsciously find ways to decrease the distance between your bodies, often leaning in closer than social norms typically dictate. This movement is a biological attempt to enter your personal space and establish a more intimate connection. By leaning his torso forward while you speak, he is signaling that he is fully immersed in the interaction and wants to exclude the rest of the world. This gesture also allows him to better pick up on your scent and subtle vocal nuances, which further fuels the attraction. It is a clear sign that he feels a strong magnetic draw to your presence, demonstrating that he is not just physically present but is actively trying to bridge the gap to be near you. Micro-expressions of smiling. A genuine smile of attraction involves much more than just the mouth. It is a full-face engagement that is difficult to replicate on command. When a man wants you, he will exhibit Duchenne smiles, characterized by the contraction of the muscles around the eyes, creating small crinkles or crow's feet. Even if he is trying to remain composed or play it cool, micro-expressions of joy will frequently flicker across his face. These brief, involuntary flashes of a smile indicate that his brain's reward system is being triggered by your presence. You might notice his smile lingers slightly longer than usual or appears more frequently during mundane conversation. These facial cues are honest reflections of his internal state, proving that being around you brings him a level of genuine happiness and excitement that he cannot entirely hide from his outward expression. 13. Nervous fidgeting with nearby objects. When a man is attracted to someone, his body often experiences a surge of nervous energy caused by an increase in adrenaline. This physiological buzz frequently translates into subconscious fidgeting with nearby objects, such as spinning a pen, adjusting a watch, or moving a glass on the table. While it might look like distraction, it is actually a sign of displacement activity, where the body tries to channel the tension of attraction into a physical outlet. If he is playing with his phone, keys, or even the buttons on his jacket while looking at you, it suggests he is trying to manage the excitement he feels in your presence. This restless behavior reveals that he is not entirely relaxed because he is preoccupied with making a good impression and responding to the intense chemical chemistry he feels between you both. 14. Protective gestures. Protective body language is a deeply rooted, evolutionary trait that surfaces when a man feels a strong connection and a desire to claim space. This can manifest as placing his hand on the back of your chair, walking on the street side of the sidewalk, or placing a hand on the small of your back to guide you through a crowd. These gestures are subconscious ways of signaling to the environment that he is with you and intends to ensure your comfort and safety. It is not about control, but rather about a protective instinct that arises when he values someone highly. Even small acts, like leaning over to shield you from a loud group or offering his jacket, are indicators that he has shifted into a guardian role. This behavior confirms that he views you as a priority he wants to cherish and keep close. 15. Prolonged eye contact recovery. While eye contact is a standard sign of interest, the recovery or the moment after the gaze is broken is where the truth lies. When a man is attracted to you, he will often maintain eye contact for a beat longer than what is considered platonic before looking away. Even more telling is where his eyes go next. Instead of looking at the floor or his phone, he might glance back at you one last time or look at your hair or shoulders before fully disengaging. This lingering gaze suggests that he is finding it difficult to pull his attention away from you. It creates a sense of visual glue where his eyes are, repeatedly drawn back to your face. This prolonged recovery period is a subconscious admission that he is captivated, showing that the physical and emotional connection he feels is making it hard for him to break the spell